So initially, when I started with e-GMAT, the pre-thinking part was I was taking longer times at the beginning, and I thought like it's taking longer for me. Is it right for me or not? Then when I started collaborating it with the errorlog that we have, then it all made sense. And once I caught a pace with it, it rather started saving me some time and getting correct answers as well. So my accuracy went up. And earlier I was just doing, okay, I got this wrong. Okay, I don't know inference questions. I don't know boldface questions. But when I made the error log and religiously followed it, then I got to know that even if I'm getting a boldface question wrong, for example, then also there are sub parts to it where I'm actually strong. And there are some sub parts where I'm lagging behind. So that helped a lot. And once that was sorted out, everything started to make sense. And that's when I got to understand the importance of error log. So that really helped me. And what I did also was like I tried to mimic the test day environment, like whatever can go wrong and will go wrong on the test day. So what I did was some days I strategized with like putting the AC down, like very cold temperatures, because we don't have control over these things, right? So then also I prepared myself mentally that you just have to focus on the questions and get your answers. That's it. That's your job. Done.
Hi, everybody. A warm welcome to our video debrief session today. And today we have with us Avnit, who scored a brilliant 725 on his recent GMAT with a spectacular V89, Q88, and a DI81. So Avnit is here to share his journey and how he cracked the GMAT and reached a brilliant 99 percentile score. So welcome, Avnit. Thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I was excited after the score to meet you.
I'm sure. This is a score that one needs to be excited about. So, Avnit, before we get into this journey to this score, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, as you know, I'm Avnit. So I'm currently working as an analyst in the corporate analytics and revenue strategy team at Lincare. So I'm currently in the United States, and that's where I'm working currently. And apart from that, I have different hobbies, like playing cricket for sure, coming from Indian background. And apart from that, I love F1 races, and I have a knack for numbers. So that is my whole personality. That helped in that.
Brilliant. The knack for numbers, the analysis, things should have sort of made your quant a little bit easier, hopefully, for you. But Avnit, 725 is a brilliant score. What was your reaction when you saw the score pop up on the screen?
So frankly, I was not expecting, like my target score was around 705 or plus. But when 725 popped up, I was like, let's let that sink in. I paused for a moment. And then when at first I thought it was around 625 or something, I have done something wrong on the GMAT. But then when I got back to my senses, it was really a 725 score. And I just took a deep breath and just left the test center. That's it.
Got it. So it was disbelief to acceptance finally.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's brilliant. Avnit, now, coming to your verbal score, it's a brilliant V89, right? 99th percentile score, almost a 10% accuracy. So what were your major challenges as you got into the GMAT preparation in terms of verbal? And how did you go about overcoming them, including, I think we'll talk about how pre-thinking helped you, but let's first see what were those major challenges in verbal.
So the initial challenge which I was facing was I had the basics cleared, but questions, I was rushing through the answers, like reading it through and just jotting down to like the last two options, eliminating the other options. But when it came to the last two options, I mostly got it wrong during my mock test as well. So that was one of the major problems that I had. And for some inference-based questions, that's where I was lagging behind on the CR part of it. Reading comprehension was more or less constant for me during my entire mock preparation. So that was fine. But the CR part, I think I had some things to improve there.
Got it. So CR was the biggest challenge, if I'm not wrong, getting into the GMAT preparation, because quant side of things, I think you were more or less sorted.
Yes.
So that's what RC also you said was more or less sorted. When it comes to CR, Avnit, I know that you've done the course, you've done a brilliant job of it, you've used scholarly, and I know as we were discussing that pre-thinking played a key role in really cracking CR and then eventually GMAT verbal. So take up yours through how did pre-thinking help you with this?
Yeah. So initially, when I started with e-GMAT, the pre-thinking part was I was taking longer times at the beginning, and I thought like it's taking longer for me. Is it right for me or not? Then when
Mhm.
I started collaborating it with the error log that we have, then it all made sense. And once I caught a pace with it, it rather started saving me some time
Got
and
it.
getting correct answers as well. So my accuracy went up. The time that I was taking was more or less the same, but with an
Mhm.
improved accuracy, that helped, and that made all the difference.
Got it. And how confident were you now of the answer choice you chose? Was there still a dilemma between two answer choices, or it fixed itself?
So when I was taking the actual GMAT, that's when it hit me that I was pretty much sure that it is the right answer
Got
that
it.
I'm taking. And for the one answer that I got wrong, I was confused between two options, even after so many deliberate attempts, because the level of difficulty was, I think, it was beyond my comprehension there. So maybe someone else could have done it, but that was my limit. So that's
You
where I
got,
thought, yeah.
yeah. No, I said you got a V89. That must have been an insanely difficult question. So,
Yeah, sure. But that too, I knew that this can go wrong. So that's what my level
okay.
of accuracy was.
Got it. So pre-thinking not only helped you improve your accuracy, maybe bring down the time by a notch, but also the confidence, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure when it comes to pre-thinking, the sort of applications of pre-thinking go beyond CR. Use it for RC. You can use it in some sections of DI too. So did you see that spillover happening?
Yes, for sure. When I started with the CR prep, then it
Mhm.
spilled over to the RC prep as well. I was able to skim through the passages quickly and get the details that are needed. For some passages, they were easy. And if you just skim through them, you can get the answer with the help of pre-thinking for sure. But if you're not pre-thinking, then you have to read again and again the passage. And then also there is a chance that you might miss out on the exact finer details that are asked in the RC section. And when it came to DI, the logical part of DI, it was like a brisk walk for me after applying pre-thinking there. So actually, I was not thinking of applying that, but it came intuitively. Once you start practicing,
Got
it
it.
will come to
Got
you
it.
intuitively. Yeah. So
Got
when
it.
I started applying it there, it helped me for sure, definitely. And also in some quant questions. So it was a very beneficial, which I did not see it coming at first, but then it came. So it's a plus point for me.
Got it, got it. So that's amazing to know, right? Because all you're doing in through pre-thinking is before you move to your answer choice analysis or say in RC, before you read the next passage, you're just taking a pause and thinking what is going to, happen. And that small little pause, that having a sort of an assessment really helps you have a lot more clarity.
Mhm.
So, Avnit, we were just discussing, about error log tool. You said error log played a very, very key role, in really, till then it was just, solving questions after solving questions and taking mocks over mocks. So tell our viewers how critical error log is in cracking this 700 plus on the GMAT, and uh, how easy or difficult is it to incorporate error log in your prep?
So when it came to error log, what I was facing was like, I don't want to see the wrong questions that I have done.
Uh-huh.
Why should I spend time on something that shows me my mistake? So, but when I
Mm-hmm.
started doing it, it had like multiple facets to it, the error log. Like even whenever I was getting the question wrong, I was getting something right in there, right? And that showed me what my strength was and where I was lagging behind. For say an inference question has two parts. I got the first part right, but the second part maybe I rushed it through, maybe I did not understand the concept. So the error
Mm-hmm.
log was very vividly broken down into different segments, and I could easily gauge like wherever I'm doing good and what is it that I'm lagging behind it. So that was a major part because once you know where the pain point is, it becomes easier to solve it.
Got it.
And earlier I was just doing, okay, I got this wrong. Okay, I don't know inference questions. I don't know boldface questions. But
Mm-hmm.
when I made the error log and religiously followed it, then I got to know that even if I'm getting a boldface question wrong, for example, then also there are sub parts to it where I'm actually strong. And there are some sub parts where I'm lagging behind. So that helped a lot. And once that was sorted out, everything started to make sense. And that's when I got to understand the importance of error log. So that really helped me. After some
Got
initial
it.
risk, I was able to figure it out. Yeah. And it all
Yeah.
made sense.
Very true, because a lot of times when we make a mistake, we end up thinking either it's a conceptual gap, that is, we are weak with this particular topic, or we categorize it as silly mistakes, right? But more often than not, at a certain level, if we are above that 70th mile ability level, the mistakes are not because of conceptual errors. They are because your process needs relooking, your approach needs looking at it with the magnifying lens, that the problem is there, or it is behavioral. And error log really goes a long way in helping us pinpoint these errors and ensuring that I think you don't repeat them, because otherwise you tend to forget. Like two quizzes back, why did I make these mistakes is something you might not remember if you don't log it. Right? So,
In addition to it, I would like to add one small anecdote which I heard somewhere.
uh,
So what error log does is, like, suppose you are walking on a log of wood. It's like 30
mhm,
feet wide, and you
mhm,
can walk over it. You can go dancing over it, la la. But if you put the same log of wood over, like, say, a 200 feet tower, between the 200 feet towers, and then you'll walk on it, would you be able to walk it?
yeah,
That's GMAT for you. So error
true.
log helps in that. So if you are prepared thoroughly with your error log and you know what your weak points are and you are focused on it, then even if that log of wood is kept around like 200 feet high, then also you'll be able to dance over it, walk over it. So that's the thing.
So, very true. I think because you've looked at your balance, you looked at your gait, you've looked at all those things which ensure that you're stable as you're walking on the log, right? So that's a brilliant analogy, I must say, Amit.
Thank you.
So, Avnit, you mentioned getting into the test. Verbal, as in CR, was one of the bigger challenges. Quant was more or less sorted, right? So, getting into the testing, how confident were you that you're going to do well?
So I was pretty much confident. I had my prep sorted. I was taking mocks every other week, and the scores were like in a what we call a sinusoidal wave. Like they go up, they go down. But what e-GMAT helped me and what my preparation helped me with was I was not fixated on the score very much. I was
Mhm,
fixated on my prep
mhm,
because anything can go wrong on the test day, right?
mhm,
So what I did was I knew what my strengths were, like VA and quant were my strengths, and DI I was not able to manage my time. So what I devised was, let's get DI out of the way in the first section, then I'll take verbal and then take a break and then quant. So that was my strategy, and I was pretty much confident on it because I had prepped well and I was not fixated on the score. I just focused on one question at a time, and I kept talking with myself. And then what happened was it was just magic. I would call it just magic because I am not able to control myself in those situations. And the
yes,
self talk, the self doubt creeps in. Like whatever I'm doing is wrong. I'm not doing well because DI was not my strong point. I was not very fixated on the DI score. And once I got it out of the way, I was now focused on maximizing whatever I'm getting. And since VA was my strong suit, I read it through. I knew that what I'm taking is the right answer. So it gave me some confidence. And after that confidence, I took a 10 minutes break just to talk to myself.
mhm,
So I just talked to myself, like, now is the quant section. You have already done well in quants. So I was targeting a Q90, but at that moment, I was not sure. Like, okay, whatever
mhm,
happens, happens. I'll just focus on one question at a time. Because if you fumble on the first four questions in the quant section, the GMAT focus will punish you. That's for
yes.
sure. So
Mm,
that's what my strategy was. Let's get the first four question out of the way. No incorrect options in the first four, and then we'll be sorted. So that was my strategy as well as like my confidence level of testing.
got it. Amit, you said a very interesting thing. You said what happened on that day was magic. But when it comes to magic or when it comes to something very nice, we see, say, a butterfly popping out of the you think, oh, beautiful, it's magic. But what we discount is the number of effort, hours of effort that has gone behind it, right?
Yeah, for
That
sure.
looks magic, but that required a whole lot of hard work, effort, struggles, consistency on your part. Like you were saying, to prep yourself mentally for the test, your mocks were taken on Saturday, the day you knew you were going to take the test.
Yeah.
The effort that you put into using your error log to pinpoint what your errors were, the learnings that you took out of that error log and started your error log across your sections, right?
Mhm.
So all that is the effort that made the day magical,
Yes, yes,
right?
for sure. And what I did also was, like, I tried to mimic the test day environment, like
Mhm,
whatever can go wrong and will go wrong on the test day. So what I did was some days I strategized with like putting the AC down, like very cold
mhm.
temperatures, because we don't have control over these things,
Yeah,
right? So then also I prepared myself mentally that you just have to focus on the questions and get your answers correct. That's it. That's your job. Done.
yes,
So that's what my strategy was. And about magic thing. So I would say that if you're preparing well enough and when your preparation meets the opportunity, that's when magic happens. So that's what
exactly.
happened.
Yeah, yeah. And the likelihood of that happening is very, very high when you know
Yes.
your preparation has gone well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as the proof is in the pudding. Well,
Mhm.
and your
Yeah.
score is a testament to all the hard work that you put in, the structure with which you did your preparation, the strategy, right, of thinking what could happen on the test day and trying to preempt it by mentally, physically preparing yourself for whatever curveball the day could throw at you. That is super critical too. So, Amit, looking back at your journey, if there were two, three things that you want to share with other GMAT aspirants who could also take a page out of your journey and get closer to your target score, their target score, what would that be?
So first thing would be don't get fixated on the mock scores that you're getting. They are just there as what we say yardsticks to your journey. But just focus on whatever errors that you're making, and is it something based according to your conceptual clarity, or you're rushing through the questions, whatever it be it. But just jot it down, and once you jot your weaknesses down, then you can turn it into your strengths. That is the way forward. And while you're giving mocks or say the GMAT and the actual GMAT also, don't get fixated on scores or what will happen after GMAT. Just try to focus on the screen and the question that has the GMAT has thrown at you. Just try to solve it and that's it. Don't guess, is it a tough question? Is it an easy question? Because that happened during my quant section. Because I was solving everything correctly, then some easier questions started coming in. So I was like, oh, did I do it wrong? But I was very sure that I'm not doing it wrong. And I got like 2 wrongs at the end. Like it was to the far end of the test. And that's what my thinking was like, I'm not focusing on easier or tough questions because what may seem easier to me would be tough for someone else. And GMAT does not know that, right? So you should not guess whatever you're doing is right. Just do it and forget it. That's
Got
it.
it.
That would be your strategy and that would help
Yeah.
you.
So don't think about things that are beyond your control. You know, there are some things that are within your control, just focus on those, right? So that is very well put. I think taking it one section at a time, taking it one question at a time is super, super critical. So thank you, Avnit, for sharing your journey with the viewers here. I'm sure that's going to benefit a whole lot of them. And all the best for your next steps. And congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity. Thank you.